FIFA has a new rule at the 2026 World Cup. They say it is to protect the players. Every referee in every single match is required to stop the game because of it, even in domed stadiums, on mild evenings, at 23 degrees Celsius, when there is quite literally nothing to protect anyone from. And when you find out why it actually exists, you are going to be furious. Because the answer has nothing to do with the players. It never did. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this rule works, who it was really designed for, and the one number that makes the whole thing impossible to defend. And I want you to pay attention to the moment a referee held 22 professional athletes standing on a pitch, the biggest sporting event on the planet, live, millions watching, and made them wait. Not for an injury, not for a safety emergency, for an AD to finish. That moment tells you everything. Let us get into it. So, here's what FIFA announced back in December 2025, and honestly, at first it didn't sound that crazy. Every match at the 2026 World Cup will feature 2 mandatory 3-minute hydration breaks, one at the 22nd minute of each half. The official clock keeps running, which means at least 3 extra minutes of stoppage time gets added at the end of each half. The official reason: player welfare. FIFA's words: ensuring equal conditions for all teams in all matches. Hydration for the players, for their safety. Fair enough, right? Some of these venues are genuinely hot. Florida in summer is no joke. Nobody is going to argue against giving athletes water. Except, and this is where it starts to fall apart, the breaks happen regardless of the weather. They happen in climate-controlled domes. They happen at night. The tournament opener between Mexico and South Africa was played in Mexico City at 23 degrees Celsius, a perfectly pleasant June evening, and the game was still stopped dead at the 24th minute. Inside the Azteca, the cathedral where Pelé and Maradona made history, stopped for 3 minutes so fans at home could watch a Lowe's home improvement commercial. 23 degrees, there was no heat to protect anyone from. There was only an ad to sell. And that is when you have to ask the question FIFA really does not want you to ask. Who is this actually for? Is it for the fans? Come on, nobody on earth tunes into a World Cup hoping for more commercials. The entire point of this sport, the reason 5 billion people watch it, is that it does not stop. 90 minutes of unbroken, free-flowing action. No timeouts, no clock stoppages, no breaks. That is the beautiful game. That is the deal. Is it for the players? Look, water in genuine heat is essential and nobody serious argues otherwise. But nobody needs an emergency rehydration ceremony inside an air-conditioned dome at room temperature. The players did not ask for this. They were never consulted. So follow the money. Because that is where the answer has been sitting the whole time. FIFA expects around $6 billion in total revenue from the 2026 World Cup, with media rights alone exceeding $3.8 billion, a record. And here's a detail that once you know it, you can't unknow it. Fox Sports is paying less than $500 million for the US broadcast rights to this tournament. Industry analysts value those same rights at between $1 billion and $1.5 billion on the open market. Fox got the deal at roughly half price, a discount tied to complications from the Qatar scheduling mess, and FIFA needed to make up that gap somewhere. In March, FIFA announced that broadcasters would be allowed to sell advertising during these compulsory breaks. Read that again slowly. FIFA did not just create the stoppages, it opened them up as brand new, dedicated, sellable ad inventory in the middle of live play, which lets it charge networks more for the rights overall and squeeze extra revenue out of every single match. 104 matches, 2 hydration breaks per match. That is 208 mandatory ad slots that did not exist before this tournament. 208 slots, created from nothing, packaged, sold. The hydration break is a revenue product wearing a lab coat, and it is genius, honestly, in the most infuriating way possible, because who is going to argue against player safety? And the networks absolutely pounced on it. Fox cuts to full commercial breaks. Broadcasters in Brazil and Ireland took the slots too. Everyone with the right saw free money sitting there and grabbed it. But here's what kills the safety argument completely. Some broadcasters said no. Telemundo, the US Spanish-language rights holder, refused to cut away at all during the breaks. They kept the camera on the pitch, showing the huddles, the replays, the coaches talking, no commercials, just football. Broadcasters in Mexico and the United Kingdom did the same thing. Same break, same rule, same 3 minutes, and yet these networks managed to not interrupt the football, which means every ad-filled cutaway on Fox was a choice, a deliberate decision, not a necessity. And then Fox got greedy and showed its hand completely. FIFA's rule says broadcasters must return from the commercial break 30 seconds before play resumes. In the very first match of the tournament, Fox came back from commercials about 10 seconds after the ball was already in play. They literally missed live World Cup action because they were busy finishing an ad. A cardinal sin in sports broadcasting, and they did it in the opening game. But honestly, the flip side is even worse because it means referees are being told to wait for the ads. In the Qatar versus Switzerland match, the players were lined up on the pitch, water in hand, ready to go, and the referee made them stand there. 22 professional athletes, the stadium blaring a Whitney Houston song over the speakers, the clock ticking because Fox had not finished its commercial break yet. A referee stopping a live World Cup match, not for an injury, not for a safety issue, for an AD. What the hell is happening? Now here's the part that really gets me, because this is the same FIFA that showed up to this tournament banging the drum about wasted time. They are penalizing throw-ins not taken within 5 seconds. Substitutes have 10 seconds to leave the pitch, or they get booked. Goal kicks are being timed. They banned goalkeepers from taking tactical timeouts. FIFA's own head of refereeing literally said that players gathering near the bench during injury treatment disrupts the flow of the game. They are policing this match second by second. Every second counts, apparently. And then, these same people drop the longest deliberate stoppage in the sport into the middle of every single half and let all the players huddle around their coaches for 3 uninterrupted minutes. You know what that is? That is a tactical timeout. The exact thing they banned, rebuilt, renamed, and monetized. Coaches figured it out immediately. Pochettino had a laptop out during the breaks. The South Korea manager straight up admitted he used the time to run through tactical instructions with his players. FIFA banned the tactical timeout, rebuilt it, called it hydration, and sold ads against it. I genuinely cannot tell if it is genius or the most cynical thing I've ever seen. Probably both. Look, I want to be straight with you because this channel does not cherry pick. Real heat is real. Florida in July is going to be brutal. When the temperature genuinely demands it, water breaks are not just acceptable, they are the right call. Full stop. No argument there. But that is the whole point. If this were actually about heat, the rule would follow the heat the way it did from 2014 through 2022, when referees made the call based on actual conditions. A discretionary rule that responds to real danger. A blanket mandate that fires in every game, every dome, every mild evening regardless of conditions. That is not a safety rule. That is a scheduling decision. The safety concern is real. The blanket mandate is the business model. FIFA looked at the most watched free-flowing sport on the planet and decided its biggest flaw was that there was not enough room to sell you a truck. FIFA generated $7.5 billion from Qatar, 2022. Corruption proven in federal court. Workers died building the stadiums. The last criminal case was quietly dropped 11 years to the day after it began. And now in 2026, the same institution is stopping your game twice per half to make sure they get every dollar out of this one too. This time they are not even hiding it. They called it hydration. The 2026 World Cup is happening right now, and the more you look at how it is being run, the clearer it becomes that the game on the pitch is not the only thing being played. Subscribe. There are more stories like this one. You will be the first to see them.